Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. I'm so Ray. My videos are about love, infinity, creation, energy, because we're infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. This is who we are. We're the human species, we're this incredible species. And love is the highest energy of creation. Okay? It's just the way it is. So this video is part of a series of videos that I've been making on exercises. So this is exercise 9. This is a beautiful exercise. It's a wonderful exercise. Something that is important to remember is that all exercises are essentially sequential. You can do them individually if you like, which is totally fine. But if you do them in the right order, you would have a greater impact. You would have a much greater impact because in this way you will be able to understand the origin and the source of everything, the genesis. Because in the end, this is our story. This is the story of humanity. This is the genesis of humanity, where we came from, our heritage and legacy, and who we are today, here and now. What we have become, what we have evolved into as a result of an infinite number of cycles, right? Because this is fundamental to understand. We are the epicenter of the universe. Our planet orbits the central sun of the universe. The universe is an electromagnetic field, okay, spherical. And that electromagnetic field would collapse if it doesn't have a stable structure. So for a sphere, just like you see in the environment, you see a bubble, right? A bubble collapses, right? Because it doesn't have a structure that is firm, it's not stable. So if you understand what that is, then you understand that an electromagnetic field is spherical in nature and they need to remain, so they need to be stable. And for them to be stable, they need to have a structure, a space structure within it. And that space structure is created by having a singularity at the epicenter. Having a singularity. And this singularity at the epicenter is a singularity is a singular point where all points meet. So essentially what this means is that all the infinite number of points on the surface of the sphere, the electromagnetic field in this case, that energy is electromagnetic, is the charge, so it moves, right? It's electromagnetic, it moves. It has polarity, it moves. And because of it, that motion, that movement gets released into the epicenter. It's a vortex. And that epicenter is a singularity where all the points meet. And that energy then is the highest energy because it's an infinite number of points meeting at the epicenter, at the singularity. So it's infinite energy. And because we're talking about the scale of the universe, is the electromagnetic field of the universe. And the space structure is all the galaxies and everything that we see. But the epicenter of it is the point of release. And it happens to be a star. It happens to be a sun. It's the central sun of the universe, the first sun that emerges. So it can contain the sphere, right? The structure is stable. The universe is stable. So then that central sun is our sun. Our sun is sun's sun. It's the sun of suns. It's the first sun. That star created everything. It created its own galaxy because it has its own electromagnetic field of its own. And that galaxy is what we call the Milky Way. And we happen to be the planet at the epicenter, at the orbiting the central sun of creation, because all the energy, all the light came out of our sun and created all the galaxies in the universe that we know. And we happen to be the species at the epicenter. So this is who we are. This is why these exercises are built the way they are, because we are the most ancient species, the first species. We're sons ourselves. We're son of suns. This is who we are, sons. This is our nature. Our sun is the first sun, is the central sun, the son of suns, and we are the children of it because we are the species inhabiting the epicenter, the orbit. Our habitat is the highest energy density in terms of molecular structures in the way of the DNA, life forms that are conscious and self-aware like we are. And this is our species. You see, this is our genesis, our story. This is why we always fascinated with these creation stories, these genesis stories, because this is who we are. We are the first species. This is our instincts. This is our DNA. The first species that ever formed intelligently in our universe was us. We're the most ancient. So this is why the genesis of things is so important. This is why is infinity, because why is the source? Is it because is the root cause? Is the reason or something. The first. Remember, the origin is the first. So from the first light, everything is created. And we happen to be the first biological creation of the central sun of the universe, which is our universe. That sun right there, that beautiful sun. And we all have evolved into being able to stare at it and see it. And use that highest energy that we have, which is the energy of our own singularity, because we are the image of the Creator. What does that mean? Well, it's very simple. We are ourselves spherical energy, just like the sun. We're light spherical beings. This is our nature. Why? Because we have a human heart, and the human heart is the epicenter, our singularity. The biological singularity, the biological creator is the human heart. Without the heart, we wouldn't exist. It's a primordial instinct. You see, it's an instinct to live. It's an instinct to exist. And without it, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't know anything, because we wouldn't exist as a species. It's the human heart, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, the human heartbeat that generates that polarity because of the contraction and retraction that generates electromagnetic field, which is spherical. At the epicenter of it is his heart, is our heart. Just like the central sun, our heart is the same. You see, and the brightest point, the hottest point of the central sun is the singularity of it at its epicenter that generates all that energy that comes out, right? The light, all the elements. Well, we're the same. What's the highest energy that we generate with our heart, the epicenter? Love. Love is the highest energy, and with that we create everything. So love is the highest energy of creation at the biological scale and all scales, period. Okay, we just express it in the way of love with our feelings and emotions because we're sentient as a species. So the same, you see, sunlight and love together as one, the highest energy outside and the highest energy within, together as one, creating everything that we know. So this is who we are, and this is fundamental to understand. So obviously follow the sequence of the exercises. Exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There is 11 of them, and this is the 9th one. So let's talk about it. Exercise 9. So exercise 9, Pantheon Premise. Personal Museum of Monumental Statutes. Fantasies and illusions. Choose 20 fictional characters. Heritage and legacy. Choose 20 humans no longer with us. The chosen 40 become your statutes. They are your allies. They are here to help you. Ask them any questions. Reflect, contemplate, meditate. Take immediate action. Trust yourself. Follow your heart. Heartful flow states. Okay, so this is exercise 9, is the Pantheon Premise. Why? Because remember, the book that I've written, which is the book that all these exercises are based on, is called Fantasies and Illusions, Compass, The Quest for Infinite Free Will. Who we are, because we are compass. You see, we're spherical in nature, our electromagnetic field, and it's a spherical compass that we are. And at the epicenter is love, which is the highest energy, the singularity. And that energy, just like the central sun, at the brightest point, at the hottest point, generates elements and light, photons, creating everything in the universe, including us. We are the same. The highest energy is love, and it creates elements, primary elements. And these elements are the elements of compass, who we are. And these are identity and true self, purpose, time and energy, action, why, how, true flow, true north and destination. They all come together as one, these primary elements. And with that, we create everything because we manifest free will. You see, it's a quest for infinite free will. And we have infinite free will within us because we're conscious and self-aware. We're intelligent. We're sentient. We have feelings. We have emotions. We have memories. We have senses. So we can perceive reality for what it is as biological organisms that we are. So it's this infinite virtuous cycle of biological and non-biological coming together so we understand who we are. Sunlight and love, what's outside and what's within, the two highest energy, the energy of the sun and the energy of the heart, love, together as one. This is who we are. So these are the primary elements, and with this we create. Because as compass, we have this infinite virtuous cycle, which is sundial. With compass and sundial. Why? Because we can sync with the sun, which is the creator. We stare at the sun and we open the portal and build the bridge. So that energy comes within us. So it comes inside, and we use the energy of the sun to supercharge ourselves and evolve our DNA structures, and use the love, and together we just create the most wonderful things for primary elements, who we are, our identity and true self, our DNA memories, knowing who we are, not only as a species, the central species at the epicenter of the universe, but also ourselves as these beautiful creators that create infinities, because we're the biological expression of infinity. You see, because we just infinite eternal creators, we just create. We co-creators of infinite eternities. And this exercise is precisely this, is understanding these as creators, what we've done, our heritage, our legacy, these fantasies and illusions. Because fantasies and illusions, they tend to be negative in nature. But like everything, there is duality to fantasies and illusions. There is duality. And there is a negativity side because of the polarity of it, because on itself, fantasies and illusions come together in this cycle and they generate this cycle. It tends to be a vicious cycle, right? It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. But because of that polarity, it has polarity, so it means it has duality principle. So which means that out of that, we can also get a positive because of the polarity, the charges. So there is a positivity that can get out of that vicious cycle of fantasies and illusions, and the impact that those fantasies and illusions have, the negative impact that they have on us as compass, as sundials, as creators, as the human race. But beyond that, this video is about the positive element, right? The byproduct. Once you fully disintegrate the shadow and you integrate your unconscious mind, your fantasies and illusions are the trace of it. What remains, the essence of it, the trace becomes the memory, right? The memory that reminds us of the love that we have for ourselves, that it was the love, the highest. Remember, because as compass, we shatter fantasies and illusions. We disintegrate them and we render them obsolete because love is the highest energy of vibration. So when you have a low vibration coming in proximity with our electromagnetic field, our senses, so it interacts with us, these fantasies, these illusions, when they interact with us and we love, because love is the highest energy of the human heart, the singularity, we shatter them. So these fantasies and illusions cease to exist in the way of the negative cognitive load attached to them. So what is the meaning of this? Well, the meaning of this is very simple. What remains of them is the essence, the trace, which is the memory, right? That then works as a reminder of how they helped us. And what's love? Well, love, we experience it in the way of gratitude, in the way of forgiveness, in the ways of acceptance, in the ways of moving on, in the ways of healing, recovering. So love is that. Love is the highest energy. So we love, what are you doing? Well, you're loving those fantasies. You're loving those illusions, right? And by doing that, you're shattering them because the highest energy of creation is love. So by shattering them, then you start to heal, you recover, you accept, you forgive, you move on. You're grateful for the event. You're grateful for the event, right, that took place. You're very grateful for that event, for that experience, because that experience allows you to be who you are. You see, to find yourself, our compass, who we are. You see, infinite free will, because the name of the book is Fantasies and Illusions Compass, the quest for infinite free will. Because infinite free will is that, it's infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. As compass, you see, with the love of our hearts, we create our electromagnetic field. And that electromagnetic field is our primary element, so we can be conscious and self-aware and intelligent and do all the things that we do. So you see, because of that, remember, when we shatter these fantasies and these illusions, when we disintegrate them, when we disintegrate the shadow, which is that, the shadow is kind of like the amalgamation of all these fantasies and illusions in our unconscious mind. So when we disintegrate the shadow and we integrate our unconscious mind, so what is the integration of our unconscious mind? Well, what remains, all the traces and the essence of all those fantasies and illusions, right? And they become just memories. And we're grateful for those memories because those memories allowed us to understand ourselves better and love ourselves, to forgive ourselves, to accept ourselves, and move on, move into creation, right? As compasses, infinite eternal creators, co-creators of infinite eternities, our nature. So this is the positive side of this. Pantheon Premise is the combination of fantasies and illusions and heritage and legacy. So if you think about it, the fantasies and illusions, what remains, right, once you integrate the unconscious mind and then you become fully capable of your abilities and understanding who you are, your identity and true self as a compass, then you have a purpose, your time and energy, your action, your why, how, flow, true north and destination. By shattering them, what remains is the essence. You see, the trace, which is the memory. But now, because you love those memories, because you shatter them and there is no negative cognitive load attached to these fantasies and illusions, which is just mediums and media, messengers and messages of any sort, any object, because there is an infinite number of experiences and events outside our control, right, that then become within our control because they're the memories. And what we can control is the way we feel when those events are taking place outside our control. So we love those. So we don't form new fantasies and illusions because we love them and we shatter them before they even form into memories or objects or shadows or anything. Because this infinite number of mediums and media, messages and messengers, All these objects, they come in any way, shape, or form, way of triggers, way of anything, trauma, any sort. It doesn't really matter. It's just an infinite number of, because everything is infinite. But when we love with the highest love of creation, then we shatter them. And the fantasies and illusions become just memories. And we love those memories because we can keep on loving those memories. So when you love them, then you're grateful for those events, for those experiences, outside your control and within your control, you see? So, and this is the positive side of these fantasies and these illusions. Why? Because there is the charge, the polarity of fantasies and illusions themselves. You see, when they come together into this vicious cycle, illusions creating more fantasies and fantasies, the fantasizing of it, and new illusions, and then that goes to infinity, and then, these triggers and stuff, this terrible vicious cycle. When we shatter them with our love and we understand that we're compass and is the highest energy of creation, they still remain as memories, these events, these experiences, right? So, but these loving memories now, because you love them. You see, it's the memories are loving in nature. You just love them. It's the trace, it's the essence, it's what remains of them. They has no negative charge. It's been neutralized, you see. They've been neutralized as memories that are negative because you love them. It's consciousness, it's self-awareness, it's acceptance, it's forgiveness, is moving on, is gratitude, is healing, is recovery, and then you start to love yourself, self-love, and all these, which is wonderful because that's just the way it is. So the way I wanted to put it in a positive framework, because they're negative in nature, but there's always a positive silver lining, right? There's always a positive, an upside to it because of polarity. So the positive side of fantasies and illusions, right? What remains, the memory that you love, right? The essence, right? The trace of it. So what is it? Well, in this exercise, I devised this mechanism because I believe that this is the best way to think of fantasies and illusions in a positive way that is outside our own memories, because we need to externalize as well, right? And the way we can do this is by creating a pantheon. And this pantheon is a representation of all these fantasies and illusions and all this heritage and legacy, because heritage and legacy is the real things, real humans, right? Real things. You see, humans are a human heart, the love of their hearts. And these humans that are no longer with us, that's why they're part of a pantheon. You see, monumental statues, because they contributed something in your life. They contributed something in your life of value. Their love, their creation, whatever they did had a positive impact in your life. A very positive impact that helped you, that influenced you, that allow you to become who you are, because you use these individuals, these humans, as examples, as leaders, as defenders. Someone that was there that guided you in a way through their teachings, through their wisdom, through their love of their hearts, right? So that's why we need the humans, which is the heritage and legacy anyway, our predecessors, our ancestors, right? The ones that were here before us that built this world so we can be here today in the Republic of Planet Earth in the 21st century. So it's important to have them. And why 20? 20 because it's 10 twice. So you need the polarity. And 10 contains all the numbers, right? From 0 to 9, that leads to 10. All the numbers, 1 and 0, all the numbers contain. So you need 10, but you need to have the polarity of 10, which is another 10. So 10 and 10 is 20. So in that way, you have this excellent number that is a number that is the base 20. And base 20 is a very good number. It's a solid number. It's spherical in nature because of the polarity of 10 and 10. Is everything contained within it. You see 1 and 2. So 1 and 0 leads to what? Doubling it, which is 2. You see, you're polarizing. You're creating this infinite virtuous cycle of 1 leading to 2. And 0 always there as this beautiful, because 0 is infinity, and you need it because it's spherical in nature, these notions, right? It's virtuous cycle. So then again, that's heritage and legacy, right? But then the positivity then is, so you want to have the opposite, right? The polarity of what's real. What's real is humans, us as a species with a heart. But what's not real, but is positive out of fantasies and illusions? Well, fictional characters. They could be the fantasies and illusions. They're not real. They're characters. They're fictional characters. They were created by humans. Humans with a heart, and creation created these characters, right? Could be characters that you created yourself or created by others from comic books or anything, movies, anything, right? Any character that is a fictional character, but it represents an ethos. It represents meaning in your life that is positive. Remember, because this is a positive side of fantasies and illusions, which they're very negative in nature. But there is a polarity to it, so there is a positivity because of duality principle. So there's a positive side to fantasies and illusions, and this is it. Is these characters, these fictional characters that have been created by humans, us, with our consciousness and self-awareness, with the love of our hearts, and these characters have a meme. They represent something, an ethos, right? They have a meaning, right? A symbol. They represent something. So what you want to do is to choose 20 of them as well because of the polarity, 10 and 10. And then when 10 and 10 comes together is 20. And then you have 20 other, which are real humans. When you have 20 and 20, that leads to 40. You see, you're doubling it, the polarity. You need 4. 2 leads to 4. You see, is how it works. 1 leads to 2. 2 leads to 4. Because it's doubling, it's polarity. You see the polarity of the sphere because it remains 4 and 0 is the polarity of 0. 4. Y and X, negativity, positivity, all the polarity coming together and creating infinity. So you see, it's integrating these two concepts, the duality of fantasies and illusions and its opposite, heritage and legacy, together as one, right? So you have a pantheon of characters, fictional characters and real humans that are no longer with us, humans that did real things, not fantasies and illusions like fictional characters, real humans. But why are these fictional characters there? Because these fictional characters, they still interact with us. Is the trace, right? Is the memory, is the essence of the fantasies and illusions. They still have a positive impact in us because these characters represent memes, ethos. They have symbology within them. So we can identify with these characters to do positive things in our life. We can use them as examples as well, leaders and defenders of the Republic of Planet Earth as well. Okay, great examples because they're great fictional characters are there that we all identify with. Okay, so one of my fictional characters, for example, is Peter Parker. Peter Parker, Spider-Man. To me, he's an incredible example because he's a friendly neighbor. He wants to help and he's very innocent and he loves with his heart and he does incredible things and he's very powerful and intelligent. So you see, this and then anyone can identify with any. That's why it's what you call an archetype. It's an archetype, right? These characters represent archetypes, and you want to, you want to associate yourself with positive fantasies and illusions, archetypes that are positive. So you choose 20 of your own, and that's a lot. 20 is a lot, so you can choose a lot. So you see, you're gonna choose follow your heart, signs and signals, heartful flow states, right? So you choose the one, trust yourself. Choose the ones that your heart is telling you, yeah, choose this, choose that, and then you have 20. So you got a pantheon of 20 statues of fictional characters. And then you have, in your pantheon, you also have your monumental statues of real humans, right? That no longer with us. Heritage and legacy, our predecessors, our ancestors that were here, and they were the successors of other predecessors, and the heritage became legacy in this infinite virtuous cycle, right? So these humans created beautiful things. For example, one of the real humans that I have on my list is Carl Jung. Because Carl Jung, he did a lot. He developed the shadow as a concept and the unconscious mind in a big way. So essentially, part of the shadow plays a big role in my book, and so does the unconscious mind. You see, because it's the fantasies and illusions. So he played a big role in my life that allowed me to make this creation, to write this book that I'm sharing with you right now. So because of that, then you understand this notion, you understand this idea. You see, he's a real human. He's no longer with us, but he, with his heart, loved and created these notions that allow us as a species to get to where we are today. You see? So it's incredible. So you choose 20. You choose 20 of your own. It doesn't have to be any of mine because I already shared in the previous video my pantheon. I have shared my pantheon with and explained why I chose them and all that. So essentially you choose those 20 characters, the fictional characters, and then you choose 20 humans, and then you have 40. You're the chosen 40. right? The chosen 40 statues, your monumental statues. That's your museum. You see, it's a private museum of your own. You have this beautiful museum, and then you, with your imagination, then you can populate it in the way you want. Even if you want to create them as real statues, or if you want to draw them or paint them, or like I have in my visual, you can do it yourself, so you can engage with them, because these are your allies. You see, these 40 chosen, the 40 chosen ones, the 40 chosen statues of your pantheon, this museum, right? Your personal museum of monumental statues. These 40, the 40 chosen, they are your allies. They are there, remember, because they represent positive things, positive archetypes in your life that influence you positively, so you can love more and you can create more. They're your advisors, right? They're your personal advisors, and they could be anyone, anyone, anyone. For example, I have Aristotle there on my list. So, I confine with Aristotle a lot. And I chat with Aristotle every day. In fact, Aristotle is right there in that visual right there. So I have him there. Did you see? So I chat with him a lot. I confine with him. I have chats with him. So I in my mind, obviously, I think about it. It's reflection, you see, because when you have allies, they're there to advise you. They're there to support you, to defend you, to represent you, right? To help you, to guide you. They're leaders of their own. That's why they're your allies. You want to have powerful allies. So you choose your 40 best allies that you can think of. The allies that will be there for you, supporting, because these are there for you. They are there for you. They're your museum, right? They're your museum. It's your personal museum. It's your own. And you can, as you grow and develop, you can change them. But you keep that logic of 20 and 20. So you can change them. Some of them, they don't really represent anything anymore as meaningful as others. So you can update and make changes as needed to your pantheon. You can. So then again, this is your own creation, right? So these are your allies. They are here to help you. They're here to help you. That's what they're here for, right? And you can ask them any question, anything. Have no fear. Just ask any question, a question that you wouldn't dare to ask anyone else. You go and ask them in your mind, right? You chat. You can even make it a visual exercise. This is why it's a powerful exercise, because you can have them right in front of you, say, as a little figurine, or as a statue, or as a drawing, or anything. Or as a toy. You can get a toy if it's a fictional character or something. Oh, there are toys of real humans as well. So you get it, right? And you can have your museum, even a physical museum. I have it in a digital way, and some photos here, physical photos and stuff. But in your case, you can have them in any way, because you want to be with them, and you engage with them. When you look at them, you ask them questions in your mind. Any questions. So you're going to get a feedback, because remember, you have this meaning in your head of who they are. And that's why they have meaning, because they have done things that they caused a positive impression of you. They leave a memory that is positive, right? A positive memory, a joyous memory in your life. So when you engaging with them, then like you can reflect, contemplate, and meditate, right? Whatever the answer you get, but you follow your heart, you're gonna get so you're gonna kind of imagine it, and they're gonna talk to you. So they're gonna be like, okay, so they say that you ask like. So, for example, I would ask, Archimedes is one of my guys. It was a Greek mathematician. He gave us the sphere. He gave us pi. And you see, as you see, the sphere plays a big role in my life, because we're spherical in nature, everyone's life, but I just was able to understand it for what it is, for what pi is, and infinity, the singularity of everything, the primal motions of infinity, the prime mover. Pi is the prime mover that generates the singularity. Okay, at the epicenter of a sphere. That's what pi is. Pi is the prime mover. That's why it's called primes, right? An infinite number of primes contained within pi. Because it's a prime mover. It's the first mover, the singularity, the creator of everything, the sphere. So I talk with Archimedes a lot, because I imagine, like, thinking about Archimedes. In my mind, I think about Archimedes. And I try to understand Archimedes and ask questions and things like that. And then I get a feedback of what I feel like Archimedes would say. You see, and then I reflect, contemplate, ponder, mull over it, meditate, you see, and I just go and I'm grateful. You see, you gotta engage your heart. So you're grateful for the exchange because it's helping you. And you can do, and that question you can ask everyone in the Pantheon. So you got 40, right? So you can ask each of your advisors. Each ally, each advisor is there to help you, remember. They're there to support you. So you can ask any question. Say that you have a situation in your life, something happened, and you need answers, you need a way to take action, right? So you ask the question, say for example is, I don't know what to do, I need help with this, and then you ask each member, each statue, and they will give you a feedback. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna, okay, so that's what Spider-Man would do. That's what Peter Parker, because you know it's that duality of Peter Parker. Peter Parker is Peter Parker, but he's also Spider-Man. So the duality you see there. He's a real human, say, if he was real, in that universe that he inhabits, but he's also a character, fictional character, a superhero, right? So he's both. So he's kind of like the perfect character for me. He's a perfect archetype, because what Peter represents. So it's the humility of Peter, right? Big heart. So then if you understand this, if you understand this nature of what Peter is and what he's done, right? And just as an example, then you choose your own, right? And then you ask each of your statues, your monumental statues of your Pantheon, that question that you have, or as many questions. And you see that exercise could take a while, but you're going to get a lot of feedback. You're going to get a lot of feedback. And then the moment that you have the feedback, you need to take immediate action. You see, because you were seeking answers, right? You were asking questions because you didn't know what to do, but now you're going to take action, right? You're going to take action. So for example, Alexander the Great is one of my Pantheon members. He's one of my statues. And you know, Alexander said that the only thing that matters is what is already happened, what's already been done. Nothing else matters. Only what is being done. Everything that has been done. Nothing else matters. Only that is what's been done, what has happened. That's the only thing that matters. That he believes that, and if you know who Alexander is, he did a lot, all right? He's done quite a bit. So, you see, he said that. And that mindset is a powerful mindset because then he did a lot because he knew that he would just do. And by doing it, it cannot be undone because the past is history. What's done is done. It cannot be undone. You cannot change the past. So the past is history. That's why heritage and legacy. So what's done is done. So you see, he has this mindset. So then you see, you confine with someone like that. You're confining with someone like that, right? The guy, what's the type of answer? If I ask, you know, if I think of Alex and I ask Alexander, hey, Alex, help me out. What is the answer? Do it. Because what matters is doing it. Because once it's done, it's done. And that's the type of feedback that you get. Yeah. So this is powerful. So it's immediate action. You take immediate action because when you ask your Pantheon, right? When you ask your monumental statues, any questions, you're going to get an immediate answer because there is an ethos attached to them. There is a memory, a symbology, a meaning attached to them, what they are, what they represent in your life. And you're going to get an immediate feedback out of this exercise. So the whole reason is why you asking the question is so you get an answer. So you need to trust yourself because remember, you're following your heart. You chose those members. Those are your allies. This is your Pantheon. These are your advisors, your personal advisors. They're there to serve you. They're there to serve you. They're there to serve you. They're your allies, right? They are your Pantheon. They're your monumental statues. This is your personal museum. So you chose them, right? So you make sure that you choose the ones that you follow your heart because when you choose the right ones, then you're going to trust yourself because you chose them. And you know that they're going to give you the right advice, right? They're going to give you the right advice. That's what they're gonna do because they're your allies. They want the best for you. You see, because they love you because you love them. It's this love relationship, right, that you have with them. So when you do the contemplation, the reflection, the meditation, right, then you take immediate action. You have to trust yourself. Whatever it is, trust yourself. Immediate action. Trust yourself. Take purposeful daily action. Immediate action. Because you asked a question, right? Or a series of questions, and you got the feedback, right? You got the answer. Well, what do you do with the answer? You didn't know what to do, but now you know because they told you what to do. They're your advisors. They're your allies. They're here to help you. Then you take immediate action. Don't waste time. Trust yourself. Follow your heart. Heartful flow states. Take immediate action. In the moment. Remember Alexander. What Alexander the Great said. The only thing that matters is what's been done. What happened. Cannot be changed. Hey, Alexander. Right? We're talking about Alexander the Great here. We're not talking about any Alexander, but Alexander the Great. Right? He's the great for a reason. Right? So that's it. Right? And that's an example. But you see, you take immediate action. You take immediate action. You see, you take immediate action. So that's what you do. That's what you do. And that's what this exercise is. You see, it's an extremely powerful exercise because if you have powerful allies, you yourself are powerful, right? Because we're infinite energy, we're infinite creation. This is who we are. You see? So let me read it again one more time and then we'll see how it goes. Exercise 9, Pantheon Premise. Personal Museum of Monumental Statues. Fantasies and illusions. Choose 20 fictional characters. Heritage and legacy. Choose 20 humans no longer with us. The chosen 40 become your statues. They are your allies. They're here to help you. Ask them any questions. Reflect, contemplate, meditate. Take immediate action. Trust yourself. Follow your heart. Heartful flow states. You see? This is a heartful flow state. Is that love? You follow your heart. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You see, you follow your heart. That's what you do. Take immediate action because you were seeking answers. That's why you ask the questions, right? Because you're confining. You're confining with your closest advisors, with your closest allies, with your personal museum of monumental statues, right? You have your 40, your chosen 40. These are your allies. These are your allies. These are your advisors. They're there to help you, to support you, to love you because you love them. You chose them for a reason. You chose them with your heart because you follow your heart, your signs and signals, and you chose those 40, right? 20 and 20. So you chose them and they're there to support you, you see, and this is this beautiful interaction that the positive side of fantasies and illusions, right? So it's the fantasies and the illusions and the heritage and legacy together as one, creating this beautiful dynamic, this powerful dynamic, your pantheon, the Pantheon Premise. Is this Pantheon Premise, right? Is this idea, this exercise that is fundamental because then you can use this advice for anything in your life. And as you start to see that you take action, you take immediate action, you trust yourself, you follow your heart, right? Signs and signals, heartful flow states, then you're going to start to flow more with your heart and you're going to trust yourself more. And sometimes you don't even need to confine with them anymore because you know what to do now because they're already there. And if because they're part of you, they're your pantheon, you see, and then you already have them with you. So then you just do it. And you yourself, without their support, because they love you, they are ready with you. Remember, they're your pantheon. They're with you no matter what. They're backing you up forever, infinitely, eternally. They're there for you because they love you with all their heart and all their might. They're there to help you, to support you. They're your allies. They're your advisors. You see, they're there to love you. Everything that you do is your own decisions now. So sometimes you don't even have to ask them anymore because you just take action immediately because you know what they would say. They would tell you take action. You know what to do. You know the answer. Listen to your heart. Follow your heart. Signs and signals. Heartful flow state, you see. And sometimes, you always will go back to your guys. Hey, because that's we human, right? We always want to have that. We always want to have that, right? We want to have that closure as a species. We want to have that closure as a species. That's what we want to have. We want to have closure, hey. Is that exchange, that love, hey. We want that love. We want that love because we're infinite love. This is who we are. So all these exercises are about love because love is the creation of everything. Love is the singularity of infinity. At the biological scale, it's a human heart. You see, love is everything. So because you love your advisors and your advisors love you, because why do they love you? Because you chose them with your heart. You follow your heart and you chose them. One by one, you took your time, follow your heart, signs and signals, and you chose the ones that you know would help you the most. So that's it. So you go to your Pantheon, to your museum, personal museum of monumental statues, and you have your monuments there, and you can confine with them. You go and you ask any question to any of them or to all of them because you're free. Follow your heart, heartful flow states, and take immediate action because you're getting the feedback and go and do. Do. Remember, Alexander the Great. The only thing that matters is what is being done, what's happened already. It's the only thing that matters. Nothing else is what's happened already, what's been done. Nothing else matters. What matters is what's happened, what's done. Because that's just the way it is. Because it's just the way it is. And these are the type of advisors that you want. The type of allies you want is humans and fictional characters that have done things that have given you love in your heart. Whoever they are, that give you love, that remind you of who you are. Your infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. That's why you follow your heart, the signs and signals. You see, you trust yourself, take immediate action. Right? Heartful flow states. Remember, exercise 9, Pantheon Premise. I'm going to read it one more time. Exercise 9, Pantheon Premise. Personal museum of monumental statues, fantasies and illusions. Choose 20 fictional characters, heritage and legacy. Choose 20 humans no longer with us. The chosen 40 become your statues. They are your allies. They are here to help you. Ask them any questions. Reflect, contemplate, meditate. Take immediate action. Trust yourself. Follow your heart. Heartful flow states. In the end, it's all about love. Heartful flow states. So you flow with the energy of your love, with your heart. And you just create. Take action. Purposeful daily action. Remember who we are. We're compass. Identity and true self. Purpose. Time and energy. Action. Why, how. Flow. True north and destination. And we're sundial as well. We stare at the sun. We open the portal, we build the bridge. We get all that energy from the sun by opening our eyes, opening our hearts, opening our minds. And that energy comes inside our eyes through our iris and supercharges our DNA structure, evolving into infinity, who we are already. So it's sunlight and love, this infinite virtuous cycle, the highest energy of creation from the outside, the sun, the central sun of the universe, and us, love, the highest energy from within, coming together as one, creating us. This beautiful thing that we are compass and sun of this infinite virtuous cycle, right? So we can create with the highest energy of existence, which is love, who we are, the heartful flow states that we enter, because this is who we are, this is our species. You see? So this is it. This is this exercise, exercise 9. It's a beautiful exercise. It has helped me so much. It has. And it would always help you. Because I love you very much. I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. And I'm here to do just that, to love humanity with all my heart, with all my mind. And this video is for you, okay? I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. Remember, the Pantheon Premise. Love you all with all my heart, with all my mind.